I don't even know where to begin. And I'm talking about that catastrophe from last night. Buccaneers and Texans. I don't know where to begin. Some people are calling back for Bobby Slowick to run this offense. That's how bad. And Nick Caley right now don't look too far from that. Actually, Bobby Slowick's offense looks better than Nick Caley's offense at this point, out of 2 weeks. What the first thing Nick Caley said when he came in training camp, having press conferences? We're going to take our talent, we're going to put them in the best position as possible to get better production and working with their skill sets. What are we talking about and what we're looking at? We had Jalen Noel make 2 explosive plays on special teams. We had Woody Marks catch a halfback pass or a little screen, take it for a first down, made some unbelievable moves for a first down. You had Jaden Higgins catch a nice ball. Never seen it again. What is it with the Houston Texans? They got all this young talent that they drafted, but they're not giving the ball. They're not giving them opportunities. Common sense will tell you that if you got all this speed and athleticism, put it on offense. Your offense is crashed right now. You can't move the ball. Jalen Noel is making big plays on special teams, and you don't think to yourself, let's put him in on offense, put him in space to make plays for us. They didn't think that for 1 minute. Jaden Higgins, all they're thinking about is Nico Collins. Let's find a way to get Nico Collins the ball, knowing the defense is keyed in on Nico Collins. So they get 1 deep ball to Nico Collins for a touchdown early in that first quarter. And the only reason they're doing that because they've been taking slack for it. Well, they can have that built-in excuse to say, well, we gave him the ball. I mean, what else do you want from us? We want a whole lot from you. This offense is trash right now. And I don't want to talk about the offensive line because the offensive line is worse than last year. If you thought this offensive line couldn't get worse, they're worse than last season. Worse than last season. It's enough blame to go around. It is multiple things went on with that offense last night. Multiple things. Offensive line is just half of it. Half of it. C.J. Stroud. I'm really thinking I'm going to wait till week 4. We're going to see what week 3 going to bring. But if you see the same stuff from this offense as C.J. Stroud in week 3, I'm seriously thinking about putting Davis Mills in the starting lineup if this repeats itself in week 3. Week 4, Davis Mills should be starting. Don't go crazy. I'm not saying that Davis Mills is the franchise quarterback. We're going away from C.J. Stroud. Davis Mills is our guy. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is time to wake up some people. C.J. Stroud has to play a hell of a lot better than what he's playing right now. And you can blame the offensive line and say, well, he don't have no line. That's why he's playing the way he's playing. C.J. just didn't have a terrible game. He didn't have a terrible game. He made some throws, but he made some bad throws. He's gun shy. He don't want to let go of the ball either. And when players are coming wide open, he's missing them. Overthrowing them or throwing it in the dirt or on the wrong back shoulder where he has to reach back for the ball. He's not throwing perfect balls, but the main thing is that he's gun shy and he's holding on to the ball a little longer than we like him to hold on to the ball. He's running out. He's picking up some first downs as he's scrambling. But how many times is this guy's going to get hit in the pocket with bad awareness? He gives up on a play too easy when he's in traffic. And you're supposed to have this new offensive coordinator, Nick Caley, supposed to be coming in changing all of this for this season. Supposed to be changing it. You don't see no multiple movements on offense where they're utilizing motion. They're not disguising Nico Collins, putting him down the line of scrimmage in slot, wide out, running quick receiver screens to get him the ball. Shit, how bad the running game is, probably put him in the backfield. But you don't want to do that because of the offensive line. You might get him hurt. But there's multiple ways that you can get this guy the ball. You have all this young talent and you don't want to use it. That's what's driving me crazy right now. All this young, athletic, fast talent that we have, and our offense is not doing nothing, but you can't get these guys the ball. Jalen Knowles should be on offense, giving him the ball in space, running some reverses with him, letting him run the ball out of the backfield. I believe he's that kind of talent. Jalen Knowles, from what I've seen on the kickoff alone, he has that kind of talent. You could get him some halfback tosses, quick screen outs. I don't see no dynamic designs on this offense from Nick Caley. It's a lot of ways they can use just those three talents that I just mentioned. Woody Marks is probably the best running back you have right now on this roster without Joe Mixon. You got Nick Chubb. He's the pound guy. But Woody Marks can run outside of the box. Get him the ball in space. We only ran that one screen to him. I'll run multiple screens. I have back passes to him. There's no confusion for this defense when we're running our offense. I don't get it. Right now, it's the worst offense in the league. Right now, it's the worst offensive line in the league. This stuff is starting to look too much like the past. And when I say the past, I'm talking about Bill O'Brien. I'm talking about Kubiak. That's how far back this team has went in these 2 weeks. And the fans should be crazy right now. I'm crazy. And what do you know on Primetime, right? What is their record on Primetime? It never fails. It don't matter if it's Sunday night football, Thursday night football, Monday night football. This team chokes. They lay an egg every time they're on Primetime. And nobody's talking about just losing or having a loss. That happens. But I'm talking about completely wetting the bed. That's what this team does. Embarrass themselves on the road or at home. Nick Caley, you got one more week. And if this is what we see from this offense, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what, and we're going to throw him to the Wolves. That's what we're going to do. We're going to throw Nick Caley to the Wolves. This offense is atrocious. You can't even get first downs. You can't even run the ball because of this offensive line. If I was you, I'm just running tight in between the tackles. I'm not trying to do no sweeps, nothing, no counters. I'm not trying to do nothing, confuse nobody. We're just going fast, straight ahead. Between those tackles, slamming it in there, moving forward. You don't need to do no trick plays. You don't have the luxury for trick plays right now. Not with this offense. You got one guy, Nico Collins, that y'all try to break y'all neck to get the ball to. He's not going to win the game. Okay? He's not going to win it. This young talent that you're not using can help you win the game. Why is Woody Marks not starting? Yeah, you can work with Nick Chubb. They could be a great tandem. They really could if you know how to work it right. You got power and you got speed. Let him be the power guy. Let Woody Marks work in open space and to third downs. Use him as a receiver. Jalen Knowles, let him be your scat guy. Put him in the slot. What's wrong with that? Put him in the backfield. What's wrong with that? Use him on bubble screens. You have to use that talent, that young talent, that athletic talent. What is this team doing? Jaden Higgins, a big play guy. Your young guy making catches out there. Even one for last week they got intercepted. Hell of a play by the defender, but Jaden Higgins right up there with it. Can come down with that. This guy's a big play guy. And you're not even giving him targets. You're starting to be in question as well. You're the head football coach. Y'all can't think of anything to get this offense running? Or you just thinking defense, right? And we're going to get to the defense. But you're just thinking defense. No, we got to get this offense rolling. And if you're not offense savvy, then it's time to start demoting some people. Yeah, it's starting to start to slice now. Because at this point, you can get the quarterback's coach, running back coach, or something like that to call these plays, if that's the case. This offense is vanilla. There's nothing exciting about this offense. There's nothing exciting about this offense. No motion. Getting out of one call, getting into the other. Reading the defense. It's terrible. That was an embarrassing showing on Monday Night Football at home to start this season 0-2. D'Amico Ryans, you're in question. I back you up. Trust me, I backed you up since you've been here. No doubt. Nick Caley up when he first came. Looked like the guy had some juice. He was ready to go. First time calling plays on offense. But he gets to the podium, he like to fast talk you to death. Like he got all this stuff going on in his head, but on game day, none of it makes sense. None of it. You're just getting tired of the same old talking points from D'Amico Ryans at that podium. All right? It's the same stuff. We got to make plays. We had an opportunity there. No, man. It's time to slice now. It's time to slice. Number one thing right now to start, week 3, utilize your young talent that you have. What you have them on the team for. You should be leading with Jalen Noel, Jaden Higgins, Woody Marks. That's a start, especially when you have guys hurt and out. You're not even leaning on these guys. And that is basic common sense. Get the young talent the ball. Just get them the ball. How hard is that? How hard is that? With no Joe Mixon. And you had Stover out. Kirk. Tank Dell. So many. All these receivers. How deep. But you have the young talent right there. You have the young talent. This is a shame. On Primetime, that's the product you went out there with. Buccaneers tried to give you the game. And y'all sitting there with it, playing with it, throwing it up in the air like it's hot coal. You don't want to touch it. You didn't want to touch it. Same old Houston Texans that I've been talking about for decades in this type of light of finally trying to turn that page, but it's like that dark cloud is over the head, and I said it had a foundation problem, and the foundation looked like it has been getting fixed, especially when you start with a D'Amico Ryans, right? Caserio, I've been warming up to Caserio, but I don't trust him either. He look like a guy that will stab you in the back the first chance he get. But all I can give him is he trying to put some talent on his football team and get it going in the right direction. And if you're waiting for Joe Mixon to come save you, season's already lost then. But one thing I will say, we don't have to be having high hopes no more. All the fans, everybody, after that performance, we ain't got no more high hopes. This is a team that's supposed to be competing for a Super Bowl this year. Yeah, for a Super Bowl. This team barely going to make the playoffs, if that. That's in question. Winning the division is in question. Shit, 500 is a question at this point. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? We're going to get to the picks. This is week 3 picks. We're going to get to them. But these Texans, man, unbelievable performance. Unbelievable performance out there. And the Buccaneers, they're good. It's a good team. But the Texans let them off the hook. They let them off the hook. And that's why we're going to get to this defense. As good as the Texans defense is, as good as it is, they can't get off the field on third down. It always seems they can play that first down. They can play that second down. It always gets to third down is when a team finds a little crack to pick up the first down. In this case, fourth down. Happened last week, a big play on third down that they picked up that pretty much sealed it. But then you come in this week, multiple third down pickups and the fourth down big play with Mayfield running to pick up the first down. It's terrible, man. You stop them there, game's over. It's a lot of things. I mean, I know it's a game in inches, but it's just little plays like that, and if you would have won it, you didn't deserve to win it anyway. And that's why the football gods probably didn't allow you to win it. You didn't play good enough to win it at all. And luckily the defense did what the defense did to keep it close. But like I said, with this defense, you can't blame the defense. You really can't. Because the offense is not producing anything. I mean, this defense is tired, man. How many 3-and-outs can you do? Huh? You're not moving. You're not extending drives to give them a little rest. They got to be maxed out the full 60 minutes. Yeah, it's going to be a crack. I feel you. It's going to be a crack. Can't play everything airtight. Unbelievable, man. Like I said, they got to get it together. Piss poor on Primetime once again. Every time they're on Primetime, this is what happens. This team can't get over themselves. They just can't. They're in their own way. Nick Caley, man, it's starting to look just like Bobby Slowik. It is. Even worse. I don't know how long it's going to take you. I don't even know if it should take you any time at all, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's your first time calling plays, but it's not your first time in the NFL. You've been on a lot of teams. You've been working under some great minds. Scheme up something. It looks plain out there. It does. And then we get on the goal line. Woo! We get on the goal line. We abandon the run completely. You're on the 1-yard line. Oh, right there. And you can't even touch the ball right there at the plank? Because you're trying to hog feed Nico Collins? Huh? It's terrible. And that's all on Nick Caley. That's all on DeMeco Ryans. Because he could have overrode anything that Nick Caley was calling right there at that goal line. Y'all don't have a chance in hell this season to be that close for a touchdown and to come away with no points. Turnover on downs. If you'd have just put Nick Chubb in there just to pound it between the tackles, the way what I'm talking about, throw out all this fancy stuff, these sweeps, these tosses, these counters, and you slam it between those tackles, you might have to go back old school. Go and put your fullback back there. Go and put your fullback back there. We doing lead all day long. Nothing but lead. No fooling around. And you can't with this offensive line anyway. Because they're only holding for a half a second.
Oh, that's not good.
And then the London Bridge is falling down. Piss poor. Piss poor. Get it together. That's all I got to say. Get it together. You got pieces. And like you said, DeMeco Ryans, you have enough. You damn right you have enough. Just use it the right way. Use your young talent. That's more the story of all of this. Use your young talent. They showed flashes last night, and nobody thought to give them the football a lot and often. Nobody thought about that. It's a crying shame. Let's get these picks done. Week 3. Week 3. Let's get it done. Let's take it to the top. Thursday night football, Dolphins and Bills. I'm going with the Bills at home, of course. Dolphins still holding on by a thread. They still have their head coach. All right, Mike McDaniels. Don't know why, but they still have him there. They even talking about trading, possibly, Tyreek Hill going back to the Chiefs. Gonna see how that work out. Gonna find out how that's gonna work out. All right, but I'm going with the Bills in Week 3 against those Dolphins. All right. Oh Lord, Texans and Jaguars. I went with y'all last week and really didn't want to go with them last week. But at the last minute, I said, you know what? I was going to go with the Texans against the Buccaneers. Obviously, that was a bad move. I'm not making the same bad move this week against the Jaguars at home. What the Texans already have shown, they haven't shown you they can beat anybody, to be honest with you. I'm going with the Jaguars in Week 3. And all because the Texans look around and mess around and win that game doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. All right? But Jaguars in Week 3. Raiders and Commanders. Raiders last night. Pitiful. What they only produced? 9 points? 9 points. But hey, I picked the Chargers. That's okay. You know, that was one notch on my belt. It's okay. But you got to put up more points than that if you're the Raiders. I'm looking for them to sneak in or make some hay some part of this season. I like to see them in there in the hunt. But the way it's looking right now, it's not looking too good. Commanders, even though I think Jaden Daniels is not playing and he's a little banged up, I believe he's not even going to play that game. I still have confidence in the Commanders to pull that game out, even though he's not there, especially there at home. I'm going with the Commanders in Week 3. You know what I forgot? I'm crazy. Before I even started these picks, I should have told you how I did last week. 12-4 last week on our picks. We were 13-3 week 1. 12-4 week 2. We're not doing bad. We're not doing bad at all. I told you, as long as we get double digit in wins, it's a good week. It's a good week. So 12-4 in week 2. Amazing. All right, Falcons and Panthers. No, I'm going with the Falcons. No, I'm going with the Falcons. Big game by the Falcons. Actually, was that Sunday night? Panthers, we already know what they all about. And they haven't figured it out as well. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm expecting these Falcons to go in Carolina and get a win. All right? So we rolling with them in week 3. Atlanta Falcons. Packers and Browns. That's easy. That is easy. We're rolling with the Packers. Why not? What the Browns have shown. Huh? What they have shown besides quarterback controversy. That's all they've shown. Shadir Sanders, I'm praying for you, brother. Get out of there. That's all I got to say. Get out of there. All right? Packers in week 3. Let's move this down one. Broncos and Chargers. This will be a good one right here. Yes, it will. Man, I'm going to go with Herbert and Harbaugh. These Chargers at home against the Broncos. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a real good game. Yeah, I'm going with those Chargers. Week 3. Week 3. Them Chargers looking real good. Chargers look like they're ready for the playoffs to compete for a championship. That's what they're looking like. Let's go down one more here. Cowboys and Bears. Cowboys, of course. That's 2 weeks in a row that I'm picking these Cowboys. Look, don't give me an ice pack. I'm not sick, folks. Okay, I'm not sick. I'm going with the Cowboys. 2 weeks in a row. And it has a lot to do with who they are going up against. I can't pick those Bears right now. They are the misfits right now. They're leading the misfits right now. No way, Jose. So Cowboys in week 3. Let's take it down one. Chiefs and Giants. You know what? Knowing darn well the Chiefs are not going to lose 3 games in a row. You almost can bet anything on that. Anything. But I believe, I always have one pick, it seemed like a bold prediction. My upset pick of the week. I am going with those Giants at home. I like the way they played. Okay? They had an opportunity. They let them off the hook, the Cowboys. I thought they had it in the grasp. I did. And that Malik Neighbors, man, is he a man? He is definitely a man. I'm going to say the Chiefs are not the Chiefs of old. I'm going to say the Chiefs are still going to spiral downward and they still having trouble getting it together, still missing their pieces. They're going to be 0-3 is what I'm counting on. I'm rolling with those Giants at home in week 3 to pull up a major upset. Major. Let's do it. Let's take this thing to the top. Bengals and Vikings. We all heard about Joe Burrow. Hope he gets healthy. Fast recovery, all those good things for Joe Burrow. It seems like this keep on happening with Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know what it is. The man got a lot of ailments going on. He just can't stay healthy. And that's unfortunate for them because you already know what kind of season they're supposed to be coming in and having. They're way behind schedule. We talk about it all the time. Jamar Chase, unbelievable, losing his quarterback. I think in saying all of that, I'm going to have to roll with the Vikings in week 3 against those Bengals. Browning or whatever they second string quarterback, he's going to need some time maybe. I don't think he's a bad option for the backup for the Bengals, but beating these Vikings, I don't see that. And it's funny because J.J. McCarthy is also, quarterbacks have just been falling this week. So J.J. McCarthy's not even in there. This is an even ball game, pretty much. Even. With even Stevens, I'm still going with Vikings in week 3. All right? That's how we're going to do it. Colts and Titans. I have a confession, actually. Daniel Jones. Oh, Daniel Jones. How I made fun of you and criticized you. And I'm still going to do that. As soon as you screw up, I'm still going to do that. But so far, and so little in the season, of course, you're coming through. You're playing. You got these Colts in a great position. I'm shocked and I'm surprised. I gotta give you respect early. And it is early. You could turn back into a pumpkin. You can do that. But right now, you're hot. And you're playing some hell of a football. Gotta give you praise for that. I do. And just because of that, I'm picking y'all in week 3 against the Titans. All right? Thank me later. Colts in week 3. Rams and Eagles. My, that will be a good one there. You know what? I'm going to go against those Eagles this week. I'm going to pick those Rams in week 3. And look, folks, yes, the Eagles are my team. But one thing about me, I don't just choose with my heart. And this is a lesson to all the fans out there and people who love sports and watching their favorite team play. Don't just go with your heart. You have to go with your mind, especially when it comes to picks. Common sense and mind. And you have to go with how you feel. You have a certain feeling. Now, we all know I'm going for the Eagles, right? But that don't mean I can't pick against them. Don't mean that at all. I have a feeling this week. My mind is telling me. And besides that, I don't like the way the Eagles been winning. They haven't been sharp. They haven't been getting their key guys to football. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. The running game has been getting stuffed. They've been sneaking out these games off experience and just making the plays down the stretch in these games. Sliding and sneaking by. They're playing a good offensive team in the Rams. They're going to have something to say before this season is over with. I just have a feeling. Okay? I just have a feeling. And my mind is telling me something. And I'm going against the Eagles this week in week 3. All right? No need to call the National Guard. All right? Now, Steelers and Patriots. You know what, folks? I'm going to do something unusual. I'm going against those Steelers this week as well. So, we on a week that I'm going against the Texans, I'm going against the Eagles, and I'm going against the Steelers all in 1 week. Who figured? I feel something. I feel something. I hope I'm wrong. Trust me, I do. I hope I am really, really wrong. And these Texans can finally get a win. These Eagles can keep it on moving without playing their perfect game. The Steelers with Aaron Rodgers, the whole season don't go to the waste when you got an old quarterback who just wants some kind of taste of victory, something before he leaves. I'm going against them. Patriots at home, that's going to be a hell of a game, folks. It's going to be a hell of a game. No doubt about it. But I'm going with the Patriots in week 3 against the Steelers. My goodness. This week's already getting exciting. It's already getting exciting. Just to see what's going to happen. And are we going to keep our great record in good condition in week 3? All right? Jets and Buccaneers. I'm going to pick the Bucks. Even though the Bucks beat the Texans, it seems like I should be a little bitter about that, huh? Don't it? It seems like I should be bitter. But I'm not. I love the Jets to win it. That's who I'll be rooting for. But that's not who I'm picking. I think the Buccaneers are going to be a little too much for them, especially coming off a high on Monday Night Football, throwing the Texans around and slapping them and tossing them the way they did. I'm going with the Jets. I don't think they have enough. And besides that, ain't Fields out for them as well? Another quarterback that went down this past week? Got to go with the Buccaneers in week 3. Got to do it. All right? Let's take this down one. Saints and Seahawks. Of course, I'm going with the Seahawks. They surprised me too because, you know, with their quarterback situation, Sam Darnold, All right. Got Cup over there. Well, we got a few pieces. Defense. They're at home against the Aints. I don't know. Are they the Aints? Maybe. I'm gonna consider. Hold on. Did the Aints win last week? I doubt it, but I'm gonna check it out and see. I'm gonna check it out and see. They lost against the 49ers. 26 to 21. 26 to 21. The Saints fell to the 49ers. Yeah, Seahawks in week 3 ain't really too much to talk about on that. To me, it's common sense on some of these picks anyway. And but they can go another way. You know what they always say. All you gotta do is wake up and play the game. This is why we play the game. Anybody can win on any given night. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm still going with the Seahawks. All right. Let's take this down one. Cardinals and 49ers. Is Brock Purdy, ain't he out? I think he's out. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I am going for the Cardinals with that matchup, even though I'm going against them in the pick. But I would like to see the Cardinals just because of new blood. I always talk about new blood. I like to see them emerge and get into the playoffs and all that good stuff. For us, the 49ers, I haven't really looked at the 49ers or been I won't say a fan of 49ers, but like watching the 49ers since pretty much Jerry Rice. You know, when he was there and the Joe Montanas and the Steve Youngs and all of them, the Craigs and, the Waters and all of that. Yeah, that's what I like watching the 49ers. But right now, mm, they've been struggling. They've been struggling past season or so, but I believe they're going to find a way to beat the Cardinals at home. So I'm going to roll with them in week 3. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Let's go down one. Lions and Ravens. That's a good one, folks. That's a good one. Oh man, that's a good one. That's gonna be hard right there to pick between these two teams. Very hard. But you know what? Both of these teams scored very high last week. I think the Ravens, 41 points they put up. Lions, 52 points. Fashionable wins by both of these teams. You know what? I'm going with the team that scored 52 points versus 41. I'm going to go with the Lions. It's a toss up. I can flip a coin on this as well. But I'm going with the Lions on the road playing the Baltimore Ravens. We'll do it like that. All right. That seals it up. Hey, we're doing well. We're doing real well on our picks to start this season. Let's see if we can beat 12-4. If not, let's just keep it in double digits. I'm fine with that as well. So take a look at the picks. What do y'all think? Any mistakes? Huh? Look pretty good to me. Hey, we got a winning record. Win the playoffs, should I say, if you just want to, count the picks. Win the playoffs. We're trying to stay in the playoffs. So that should do it. Terrible Tuesday, of course. And Houston Texans, oh my goodness. I don't know what we're going to do with them. What we going to do with them? They got to find a way. They got to find some kind of way to just get a win and try to build on that. That's all. Just start with one. Jaguars, I'm not saying it's an easy one for them. They're going to have to fight for that one too on the road. They're in the division, so it's always knockout, drag out when you play teams in your division. And they're no chopped liver either. They feel good about this season coming in. And if the Texans want it, they're going to have to go take it. But from what we've seen from week 1 to week 2, they're not in the business of taking anything, okay? We're just going to be honest. Not in the business of taking anything. They got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. And I'm talking about on the field, in the press box, on the sidelines, in the meeting rooms. Yeah. Coaches as well, man. Coaches as well. So we're going to see. But high hopes, and beliefs, they're all broken. They're broken. Oh, they're broken. G.S.Q.H, Goodymo Sports Quick Hits. Y'all enjoy yourselves on this terrible Tuesday. Thanks for y'all time, and we out here. Peace.